What is up guys, welcome back to yet another video. Today we are going to be looking at my Game Week 8 results, my Game Week 9 transfer plans and of course the best replacements for the shocking Arsenal defence. And of course, you got to like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 1k subs before the end of the season and I reckon we can do it. So onto the results. First of all I'm going to say, I'm recording this before Chris Wood has played, but I'm posting it after Chris Wood has played. So I'm already on a green arrow right now as I'm speaking, so I'm safe to assume I'm on a green arrow because Chris Wood, he can only help my team. So yeah, you guys know my full rank. It's in the bottom left on the little slideshow thingy. I'm sure it's a good green arrow that I'm happy with. And even though I'm happy with the green arrow, I'm still very pissed off with a certain duo on my team. This Arsenal defence, right? Home to Leicester, home to Southampton, away to Bournemouth. That should have been a combined total of like 25 points. I mean, a couple clean sheets, a few bonus points here and there. Not much to ask for at all. Okay, now I've come away from those 3 game weeks, Gabriel plus Saliba combined with a total of 3. What is that? Like guys, I mean, my disappointment is immeasurable. Okay, I'm going to be honest. Despite all that, I've had a decent amount of luck on my side with the Gabriel goal making up for the defence, 0.02 expected goals and he got me the goal. So yeah, mostly on good vibes because I understand that I did get a little bit lucky this game week. I'm really happy with my Aston Villa players, Rodgers and Watkins, being so consistent these past 4 or 5 game weeks. Could not be happier to have them in my team. Massive W. Thank you so much to you guys. Transferred in Bruno Fernandes. He got his first return of the season. So yeah, I'm a genius. Follow me for more genius tips. I was going to bring in Brennan Johnson, but I decided to take the risk. And I know it's only 1 game week in, but it's paid off. Next to him, we got Maddison, who only got 4 points. I mean, that's a robbery, by the way, by Ange Postecoglou. Like, mate, I could have got way more points because Tottenham went on to score many, many more goals and Maddison wasn't involved in any because he got subbed at half time. But at least 4 points is a return, which means Flecken actually got a return for once as well. So, well, hey. So, yeah, got a decent score in a very low scoring game week. And, yeah, let's move on to my transfer plans. I was just going to roll the transfer, play Gabriel, Saliba, home to Liverpool, hope Arsenal park the bus and get a 0-0 or a 1-0. But I'm at the point in my team now where I've only got 2 defenders that can actually play next game week. And I don't want to go into game week with 10 men, so I'm going to bring in a defender. I've got 1 free transfer, and by selling Saliba, I can afford any defender in the game. Now, I was looking at defensive replacements for Saliba. And to be honest, looking at defenders, guys, there's not really any defender which has got outstanding expected goal involvements. I mean, there is Trent as the only one, but he's playing away to Arsenal. I don't fancy bringing in a player who's playing away to Arsenal, to be honest, which kind of leaves me, picking between players with good clean sheet potential from good teams and then picking the defender from that team with the best expected goal involvements and the most reliable minutes. So the pool is not too big to choose from. In fact, it's quite small, okay? Because I already have Gabriel, guys. If you're watching this video and you want a replacement for Saliba or Gabriel and you don't have Gabriel, I strongly recommend Gabriel. He's probably the best one. Rico Lewis is a little bit behind. I do think Gabriel is worth the extra, 1.2, 1.3 million because he's a little more reliable of a starter and obviously he's got the goals to show for it so far. And when I look at replacements I want for Saliba, sorry guys, you're going to hear me say Saliba a lot in this video, okay? I know it's Saliba, but I say Saliba just because it naturally comes out of my mouth. I do apologise. Please don't get too annoyed. Yeah, where was I? When I'm looking at replacements for Saliba, I'm looking at the next 3 game weeks up until game week 11 because I'm going to wildcard in game week 12. And I've narrowed it down to 3 players. Now, these 3 players are also very good long-term options for Saliba. So it works for me short-term and it can work for you guys long-term too. And in fact, all 3 of these players cost less than 5 mil. So instead of selling Saliba in my team, I'm actually going to sell Barco because planning up until my wildcard, I actually don't need that much money in the bank. So I can just keep Saliba on the bench for me just for some point fodder in case one of my players gets injured. The data we're going to be looking at is based off the last 8 game weeks, pretty much all of this season, guys. For these defenders, we're going to be looking at the expected clean sheets and their highest expected goal involvement stat, whether that's expected goals or expected assists, because a lot of defenders very rarely have both. So yeah, the first one we're going to look at is Rico Lewis. He's not much worse than Gabriel. It's just I feel like he's a bit of a less reliable defender when you want someone that's going to start every week. If he was guaranteed to start the next 3 game weeks and I had that 100% certainty, he would probably be the player I'm going for because Man City have clean sheet potential against any team in the league. And I think their expected clean sheets, their expected goals conceded, it's like 4th in the league so far, which is, probably a little less than expected. I think they're around Aston Villa's level at the moment, but it's still a pretty solid defence. You know, they can dominate any team and shut them out, but they always seem to concede one goal every time, and it really gets on my nerves owning a City defender already. I don't want it to happen when I'm owning 2 City defenders. So yeah, home to Southampton looks like a likely clean sheet. Then you've got away to Brighton, away to Bournemouth. Could also be a clean sheet in there too. But you don't want the one game Man City keeping a clean sheet where your defender is the one that's left on the bench and only played 23 minutes. So for that reason, I might be staying away from Rico Lewis, but it is very tempting. Next up, we have an unexpected team to go for. These guys are 5th for expected clean sheets, so a similar defensive level to Man City this season. And it's actually Fulham, guys. Now, a lot of you may be thinking Fulham, oh, it must be Robinson, the highest expected assist. He gets good expected assists, and it's true, he does all right. But there's a player, the other side, the other fullback, who's getting more expected goals than Robinson is assists. And it's Tete. Guys, I don't know how you say his name. I'm going to say Teat because it's easier. Yeah, the Fulham fullback, he's getting decent expected goals, quite a few shots in the box. Not been lucky yet, but you never know. He could be soon. But like I said, we're mainly looking at the potential clean sheets here. And in the next 3 game weeks, you've got Fulham, they're playing away to Everton, could happen. Home to Brentford, could happen. Away to Palace, could happen because they don't score many goals. And I think they've even got Wolves after that. So yeah, very good short-term and long-term option because Fulham are a reliable defence. And when you've got a defender costing 4.5 mil, you can rotate him for the bad games as well. It's not really an exciting transfer and there's not much else to say on it except you know he's going to start every week and you know he's playing for a good defence at a cheap price. So I don't see much wrong with it, and it's also going to save me money to bring in bigger attackers before our wildcard. And guys, the final defensive replacement we're going to be looking at is the one I'm leaning towards the most. The one I'm probably going to be doing is selling Barco and bringing in 8 Nori from Wolves. Yes guys, the on-form Wolves team which just can't seem to stop winning at the moment. Now I know it seems silly to bring in a player, a defender from a team that's lost 7 games and drawn 1. It doesn't seem that smart. And, you know, it might not be, but I'm going to tell you guys where I'm coming from. First of all, 8 Nori. He is 4th for expected goal involvements this season among defenders. And like I said, it's not outstanding, but it shows he is more likely to get a goal involvement than most defenders in the game. He's got the expected goals, which are quite high. And he's got decent, well, not decent, but, you know, some expected assists as well. But the main reason I like him across these next 3 games especially, in fact, guys, 8 Nori on Wolves, after this Brighton away game that I would be bringing him in for, have the most insane run with loads of potential to bring in like Cunha, Larson and 8 Nori. A Wolves double up or triple up would not be a bad idea because they've got so many good games coming up. The only problem with 8 Nori is that game week 9 you bring him in away to Brighton, which let's be honest, it's not likely for him to get many points. But guys, in my position, like I said, I've got 2 defenders currently that can actually play, so I'm going to bring in 8 Nori anyway for the point fodder. It's the 2 games that follow that I'm really looking at, playing home to Palace and home to Southampton. That is 2 games where you could expect a clean sheet from Wolves. It's at least a 50% chance. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to jinx it like I did with the Arsenal defence. But it's true, Crystal Palace and Southampton do not score that much at all, guys. Now, the overall expected clean sheets and defensive data for Wolves isn't great. But guys, if you've seen Wolves' first 8 game weeks, you would understand that you can't expect much more from them. They've played like the best 6 teams in the league in the first 8 game weeks. What else can you expect, you know? You gotta jump on people when they're about to be good, not when they've been good in the past, you see. Like I did with Bruno, he was terrible, got on him at the right time. I'm going to do the same with this Wolves team, guys. You got to trust in me. While I do think away to Brighton, 8 Nori is going to pick up 1 or 2 points at best, I'm hoping for at least a 6-pointer in both the Crystal Palace and the Southampton game. I mean, with a 4.4 defender, you know, you can't expect much, but home to Palace, home to Southampton, really happy with those 2 games, and that's why I think I'm going to bring in 8 Nori. And if you're looking for a long-term option, 8 Nori is your guy to go for. Like I said, the Wolves fixture run goes on for a long period of time, and even in the odd bad game, you can rotate him. So yeah, 8 Nori, guys, probably the best defensive replacement you can get for Saliba in your teams, or Gabriel, if you want to sell Gabriel now because he's got some hard games. Go for that Wolves defence. Go for the one with the highest expected goal involvements. Go for 8 Nori. Anyway, guys, that brings this video to an end. Let me know what you think of these defenders I recommended. Do you think it's a good selection of replacements? I know defensive transfers aren't too exciting, but sometimes you've got to make them. But yeah, if you did make it this far, thank you so much for watching. You are greatly appreciated, and I will see you in the next video.